You're still watching the City of Lagos TV show. Welcome to the Commissioner's platform where we, as usual, have a one-on-one, very expository talk shop with strategic commissioners from the various ministries in Lagos State. And of course, today we're going to be taking a look at a very important ministry. But first, let's try to share this thought. Strategic economic planning, seamless budgetary process, and of course, allocation to achieve strategic goals for a vibrant commercial city like Lagos requires critical thinking, progressive, innovative, result-oriented policy initiatives to sustain economic growth. Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget sustained this line of thought. That brings us to introducing our guests, the Honorable Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, one man who, of course, has been able to keep the flag flying in line with the Themes Plus agenda, Mr. Opedola. Thank you, sir, for joining us on the program.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
First and foremost, a strategic ministry of this nature, a lot of Lagosians and stakeholders would like to know who is the man, Opedola. Can you just give us a brief but precise professional background of yourself?
Thank you very much. So yes, my name is Opedola. I work as the Commissioner for Budgets and Planning for Lagos State. I have a BSc in Business Economics. I also have an MSc in International Business. I have some experience in investment banking. I worked as an investment banker. I've also done some corporate finance. I've held some previous roles within the public sector. I've worked as a special advisor to Governor on Public-Private Partnerships. I've also worked as the Deputy Managing Director of Free Trade Zone, Lekki Worldwide Investments Company, an investment arm of the state government. And I also was, in the past, a Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on economic matters. So my background is basically in finance, and I've also done some work in telecoms as well.
All right, thank you very much. Now, it is of very critical importance to also look into the strategic master plan, because for a ministry of this nature, there is a strategic master plan when it has to do with ensuring that Lagos economy is, put on the right track. So what is a strategic master plan and what does it actually intend to achieve?
As you rightly said, we have a plan. We always follow a plan within the state. I think one of the things I like to say is that whilst we have always been blessed with having talented individuals, one of the things I think we have fantastic institutions. We have institutions that stand the test of time. So everything we've done in Lagos has been built on a plan. The current president also set up the plan for Lagos. So what we've done is consistently we followed our development plan. Right now, we're working with the Lagos State Development Plan, LSDP plan, which we've had, which we also follow. So for us, as you rightly said, planning is key. Planning is essential. And we find that at any point in time, the key to the planning is that we also need to ensure that we're flexible. So at any point in time, things change, we go back, we review our plans, and we ensure that we can sort of update our plans and keep them up to speed with economic realities and also what's going on within the country and the world at that point in time. Every couple of years, we have a summit, which is NNPC, which we come together, we review our plans, we look at how we fared, and then we go and if we need to reset, we reset and try and move things forward.
Lagos recently had a very impressive economic rating as Africa's second largest city economy after Egypt's Cairo. When you look at this kind of rating, it tells you that a lot of work has been done. How does this impact on your set objectives looking at this rating?
For us in Lagos, what I always say is that we're a sub-national, but we're also burdened with the issues of being a national. So everything we do in Lagos, we're doing it acting like a sub-national. For instance, the rail system we built in Lagos, you rarely find sub-nationals building rails, but we've built a rail, we have the blue line, we have the red line, we have the other lines which are coming on stream. So there's a lot of work that goes into what we do in Lagos, and it's, as I said, we're a sub-national, but then we do have the issues of being like a national. So we have to act like a national. So we're rated the same as the country, which is good for us. As you said, one of the largest economies. We're constantly moving, depending on which matrix you use to check it. We're either the fourth or the fifth largest economy in Africa. It's a huge market. We also recently just started the establishment of setting up an LIFC, which is the Lagos International Financial Center. So what we'd find is that in the past, there's always been a willingness to come to do business in Nigeria and in Lagos, but then there's been a bit of a missing link where we've been able to have a proper structure where we can help businesses come in. They can set up and they know that there are guidelines they can follow, and they know they have people who can help them hold their hands to develop. So one of the things we're very, very excited about is the LIFC. We believe that will be a game changer for us and push us even further in our development to be the premier city in Africa.
Since you came on board as the Honorable Commissioner, we'd like you to encapsulate your major giant strides in terms of achievements of the ministry under the present administration.
Okay, so I think with that, I'd say that I've been very fortunate in the sense that in the past we've had various honorable commissioners who've held the mantle of being the commissioner for Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget. To name a few, we've had Mr. Cardozo, we've had current governor, Mr. Governor, who's also been commissioner. We've had Mr. Ben Akabuize, we recently had Mr. Sami Gube. So it's always been a big shoes to fill, so to speak. But and I've been fortunate in the sense that from generation to generation, they've always handed down a ministry that has been fully functional and that has also been a premier pace setter. So for me, it was very simple to sort of pick up the mantle and ensure that we continuously move it forward. What we've tried to do, we've tried to sort of expand our economic intelligence, our data gathering, and also our planning. So we've ensured that we've tried to move the bar upwards to ensure that in terms of statistics, we can deliver the right sort of statistics, the right sort of reports. So we've recently just also launched the LEDU, the Economic Development Update report, which we've launched, and we felt, if we can move these areas forward, for me, those are the areas I'd like to build on. As a ministry, we're very proud of the fact that our LEDU report, it is the first of its kind. With it, we got a lot of accolades to ensure that what we've put out there is data that can be used, and it also projects the fact that we're moving forward in the States. In terms of our budgets and our budgeting cycle, we're very, very proud of the fact that, as I said last year, we crossed the 1 trillion naira mark with our budgeting cycle. We've ensured that over the year, last couple of years, our consultative forums have been a lot more detailed. We've gone out to the people to ensure that we've listened to what they want in terms of input into their budget. We've strengthened our planning. We've strengthened our economic intelligence departments within the ministry. And for us, I think we're moving in the right direction. And we're also ensuring that as a ministry, we can offer the right sort of advice and right sort of guidance to other MDAs to ensure that we can move the state forward. As a ministry, we've ensured that our human capital development is very, very important, trying to upskill our people, a lot more training, and ensuring that our people can get access to sort of the right sort of quality training, strengthen our budgeting processes, to ensure that our budgeting processes are a lot more stronger.
Okay, let's look at fiscal discipline and budget performance, because this gives us a clear picture of the progress made so far.
So fiscal discipline is key, and one of the things we're very proud of is last year, I believe we crossed the 1 trillion naira revenue mark for the first time. I must commend the LRS team, very, very efficient, very, very professional. And then just to speak to what I mentioned earlier, where you find that, in the institutions we have in Lagos are such that, they stand the test of time and they continuously improve and raise the bar. We pushed it up again this year to ensure that we can get that and improve and surpass on our performance. And a lot of things we're putting in place to ensure we can do that is that we're incorporating a lot more technology. We're very, 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 very key on fiscal discipline, as you rightly said. And for us as a state, we've invested a lot in infrastructure, and we find that our capital expenditure in terms of our budgets is always larger than what we do in our recurrent. So just to continuously push on that and ensure that we can develop our state and develop our city. So for us, as I said, buy set, but we always push the bar higher.
In case you just joined us, you're watching the Commissioner's Platform, and we'll be speaking with the Honorable Commissioner from the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget, Mr. Ope George. Now, Honorable Commissioner, let's look at improved development planning and project implementation, because these are very vital components of, trying to ensure that you meet up your set objectives?
As I said, it goes back to planning and monitoring. So there's a lot we do in terms of being a focal ministry and being able to sort of interact with all the other MDAs. We've invested heavily in our monitoring and evaluation. We have a monitoring and evaluation department within the ministry. So all the projects within the state, we also ensure that before they are signed off for payments, we go and we inspect every single project. So it's a lot of work, but we find that with doing that, we're able to sort of understand and safeguard where we are in terms of our infrastructural development to ensure that at any point in time, if we see that there are issues that can come up, we can flag it and say, look, this road you are trying to build, we've noticed so you need to go back and relook at it. Recently, over the last couple of years, with the change in the foreign exchange, we had a lot of variation issues in terms of all the contracts that were issued. So that was something we had to go back and look at and find ways to which we could sort of come up with ingenious ways to be able to sort of get the contracts finished and get them across the line. So, we're always constantly ensuring that we always need to continuously check where we are and ensure that at any point in time we are not caught on our ways and we can sort of react quickly.
So what are you doing with regards to citizen engagement and, of course, the issue of transparency?
Okay, so it's very important. One of the things we do every year is once we start the budgeting process, we go around all the village divisions and we have meetings with all the citizens and we understand what it is they want to see in their budget, because as I said, it's not just a budget for us, it's a budget for the citizens and every negotiant. So we go around, we ask them. I'll be the first to admit that we can't always take into account everything they want. But since it's a yearly engagement, we know that every year when we go back the next year, we have to sort of give account of what it is they've requested for the year before. So we're well aware of the fact that we have to sort of keep tabs on what's going on. But we ensure that the citizens are always engaged. We have various mechanisms within the state for which citizens can give feedback, and they have the citizens gates, they have the Office of Civic Engagement, which interacts with citizens. So we ensure that we always check with them to see where are we, what's going on, are we missing anything, and if we are, we try and as much as possible go back and address this situation.
Lagos as a commercial center is also known for its level of resilience. The governor has mentioned this on several occasions, that looking at the very vital areas of the Things Plus agenda is to create a very resilient economy. And so when we talk about economic resilience and social impact initiatives, what has the ministry done with this regard?
I believe we're probably one of the few ministries or states, if not the only one, if we're not, maybe one or two, that has a resident resilience officer. So we ensure that at any point in time, whilst we can't always safeguard for all the shocks, but at least we try as much as possible to anticipate and know that, when we have issues, how do we react? Resilience is key. And, for Lagos, Lagos is constantly evolving. Just look at what happens every year now. Every year in December, we have an inflow of people that come into Lagos. They book as early as June, July to ensure they're coming to Lagos. So we've started looking at the fact that we need to sort of think a lot longer term. We need to ensure we have enough hotel rooms. We need to ensure that our transportation networks can cope with the amount of people that come into Lagos over the December time period. So now we know that Lagos is not just, as we used to say in the past, we want to be the mega model city, but now we're actually living what it is, our realities. And you find that year in, year out, we're growing, the economy is growing. And Lagos now is actually, a premier destination where people actually look forward to coming to Lagos to spend some time.
Looking at a ministry of this nature, data gathering is of fundamental importance. What is the data gathering mechanism of the ministry, and how reliable and useful has this data been?
We have a Bureau of Statistics, which is within the ministry. We are also trying to ensure that we can upscale that and we can sort of give that bureau a lot more capacity and being able to sort of be the premier area for statistics within the state. We have an economic intelligence department as well. So we know that it's work in progress, but it's something that we're very, very mindful of. But one of the things we're proud of is, as I said earlier, we launched the LEDU report, and that was all done in-house, and we got quite a lot of commendations for that in terms of the quality of work that was done. And for us, we feel we need to continuously build on that and ensure that we ensure that everything that comes out of our departments that give out data are the right and the premier and can be reliable and things that the whole country can sort of rely on.
Let's look at your policy direction with regards to the annual economic development plans and supplementary budget allocation implementation by the state government.
Yes, so in terms of budgetary allocation, we have a COFOR group. So each group has its allocation. We allocate to budgets to each MDA. We've had to in the past couple of years go back and reorder our budgets based on the fact that maybe we've had some changes in certain factors and certain areas. But I think for us, one of the things we like to look at and say is that it's not in any way a negative thing. For us being able to sort of understand that we need to make adjustments. We go and make the adjustments and make it quickly. So it's not a problem, not a challenge. We had a supplementary last year, which was good. So we made a bit more than we anticipated. We spoke about the fact that we crossed the 1 trillion mark. And I think for us, Lagos is going in the right direction. All the indices look good. And we're very, very optimistic that we'll continuously move ahead and raise the bar. Our budget this year is one of the largest budgets we've ever put out. And we know that, we need to ensure that we can hit our marks so that when we come next year, we can sort of raise the bar slightly higher again.
So what is the level of nature of synergy and collaboration between your ministry and other strategic ministries as well?
I think the fact that obviously by the nature of what it is and our ministry, we are intertwined with every other ministry. So we work with everyone. We ensure that we sit with them and ensure that their medium-term goals are met. We constantly have reviews. We have revenue meetings with the ministries. We have meetings to ensure that what they've said they can do, they're meeting their targets. And if they cannot meet their targets, we need to understand what the issue is and how we can help them change and meet their targets. So we're a ministry that we have to work with everyone, and that's what we do. And we ensure that because it's a collective effort, and we need to ensure that the whole team moves together. So we're in line with all the other MDAs, and we ensure that we also meet with them regularly to ensure their budgets are moving in the right direction and they're hitting their targets.
As a commercial city that has economic and business ties with diverse local and international monetary related institutions, what advisory role does the ministry play to guide the government appropriately to achieve its developmental agenda?
We work very, very closely with the Ministry of Finance, and we every year we look at our rating. We're currently going through the process now of reviewing our rating. So we'll be talking to the rating agencies where we give them information for them to look at us, assess us, and let us know what our credit ratings are. So we're currently going through that process. So it's something we do. We're also one of the few states that we ensure that when we work with multilateral organizations, we try as much as possible to ensure. For instance, we just finished a facility with the IFC, and it was something that was done in Naira. So for us, we look at things in dynamic way and dynamic nature. We ensure that we don't overexpose ourselves. Our sustainability levels are quite good. So at any point in time, there's collaboration with both Ministry of Finance, Debt Management Office to ensure that our planning is in place and our sustainability ratios are well within limits.
Honorable Commissioner, for a ministry of this nature, there are obviously challenges. Can we share these challenges and what effort are you making to mitigate against?
Well, there are always challenges, and I think for us, by the nature of what it is we do, it's a case of everyone wanting a bit more and not wanting to give up anything. So you find that every year when we go through our budget process, we find that we have so many requests and so many needs that we can't always meet all those requirements. But what we try and say is that, look, we need to ensure that at any point in time we move together collectively for the betterment of the state and as a whole unit. So, it's always very, very key for us to be able to look left and look right and be able to make the right judgment, or to say, take a bit from here and put a bit here to ensure that, we move forward. But for a city like Lagos and the population we have and just the fact that the kind of commercial business we generate, it's very, very important that we need to constantly try and ensure that we can sort of improve our revenue generation, because even our budget, to be honest with you, it's not for a city like Lagos, it is still somewhat optimal, below par in terms of what it is we can do. We can push the bar a lot higher for the population we have. So, we have a lot of challenges, but, I think one of the good things is that at any point in time, we're constantly moving forward and evolving. So for us, I think it's just to keep on the right track. The future, I believe, is very bright, and we just need to ensure that we continuously move and up ourselves.
Talking about the future, what are your projected plans?
Well, I tend to just take one day at a time. I don't tend to over plan. I can't. We're all not in control of what it is. It's just to sort of ensure that you do your best for the day, and ensure that you get up the next day and come in and continuously give your best. So, while saying that, I think it's important that the state does have a plan, which we all try to follow. And I think for us is to ensure that we just continuously build on that. As I said earlier, we have a very professional ministry. We've done very well as a government with themes and themes plus agenda. So we're hoping that, we continuously move close out the next couple of years of Governor Sanwo-Olu's administration and on the right track and on the high. We have 2 lines which we've just done, the blue line and the red line. We're optimistic that the green line would start or come on stream. We have the airport which we're developing, which is coming up. We have the food and logistics hub, which we've created. We have middle market hubs, which we're expanding on. So, we have a lot of infrastructure going on, roads being built, bridges, So for us, we're very, very optimistic, and we hope that at least we'll definitely leave the city better than we met it.
So on a final note, what is your word of assurance and encouragement to all stakeholders, and especially to Lagosians?
To Lagosians, to say that we're very listening government. We understand that we need to work, we need to deliver. We work to earn your trust. We ensure that at any point in time, for us in our ministry, anyway, our doors are open. We're happy to sort of get comments and information from citizens, and just to say, look, the future is bright, and I think for us in Lagos, we're moving in the right direction.
Mr. Okpe George, thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
The Honorable Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, speaking to us on very innovative and strategic efforts and achievements of the ministry for Lagos to actually, become greater, because that is actually the focus, really. For us here, we've been able to confirm and verify the success rate of the ministry in line with the Things Plus agenda to ensure that the expectations of Lagosians are met based on the campaign promises of the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu. And that's it on the Commissioner's platform at this moment.